From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. World Health Organization Director General commends Nigeria for its speed and transparency in the handling of the coronavirus. Officials of NAPTIP and the Delta State government rescue 11-year-old alleged victim of child abuse from the home of her foster parent in the Delta State capital, Asaba. 3 years after the gruesome murder of Catholic priest Reverend Father Sirakios Onukwo, police in Imo State arrest a prime suspect in the killing. And about 70 people trapped as hotel building used as coronavirus quarantine center in China's Guangzhou city collapses. Plus, business and sports.
On business news tonight, National Bureau of Statistics reports Nigeria's merchandise trade grew by 14.05% in 2019, but value of export component fell to 4.7 billion naira.
And on sports news tonight, Liverpool Football Club returned to winning ways after 3 consecutive defeats in 3 competitions.
Health Organization, WHO, has commended the Nigerian government on measures taken so far to contain the spread of coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, in the country. In a tweet, the Director General of the WHO, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, praised the government's efforts and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, since the index case of the virus was reported. He noted that Nigeria was quick and transparent in the manner it shared the sequence of coronavirus from the spreading further. The remarks by the WHO Director General was to the NCDC after informing it that Nigeria had published the first African SARS-CoV-2 genome sequence from coronavirus. The Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu, thanked him for recognizing the efforts of the federal government and others fighting the virus in the country. He, however, notes that the nation still has a long journey ahead in ensuring that citizens are protected from the virus and similar diseases. It's about 2 weeks since Nigeria reported its first case of coronavirus after the Italian patient was tested positive to the disease in Lagos. It remains the only confirmed case in the country, and the government says the condition is getting better. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Olorunniyi Mamora, has reiterated the need to strengthen the nation's healthcare systems, especially at the rural areas, to cope with diseases such as Lassa fever and COVID-19. According to him, while diseases such as coronavirus are alien to Nigeria and require temporary measures, Lassa fever is an environmental problem that needs to be dealt with constantly. He was speaking on our Saturday morning program, Sunrise.
Ebola, Corona, or COVID-19, these are imported. They were imported, not something with us.
Lassa is with us.
But Lassa is with us. And it's mainly an environmental issue, which we need to deal with. So that's the difference. And the hype, the hysteria, the fear attached to COVID-19 essentially has to do with the ease of transmission. It's the ease. That's why, you know, it's like going viral all over, you know, the world. That's the thing. And it's a no respecter of anyone. We do have health system that can cope, but that is not to say it's perfect. We still need to do a lot of health systems strengthening. We need to do a lot of that. The bulk of what we need to do is even at the primary care level. Because, you see, the healthcare delivery is a pyramid. And at the base of that pyramid is the primary health. Because that's where you can easily give the information to the people. And the bulk of our people, they still live in the rural areas. And that's one of the areas that the primary health is supposed to, to serve.
And while the battle to contain the new coronavirus in the country continues, Adamawa State has joined others in setting up isolation centers to fight the outbreak. The state government says all necessary measures have been put in place to manage any suspected case.
As part of efforts to prevent the spread of coronavirus in the country, more states have joined others in adopting measures to guard against the outbreak. At the specialist hospital in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, the level of preparedness is evident. A block has been marked for the isolation center. The health workers are well kitted and trained on how to manage such cases. For the state government, everything necessary is being done to tackle the challenge.
In specialist hospital here, we've prepared an isolated place where in the case of eventuality that we have a case of coronavirus, just like we did for the Lassa virus, we have an isolated place fully prepared to manage such patients. And in the event that we cannot manage them, we have a standby ambulance that is dedicated for their transfer.
As states continue to prepare to combat the virus,
percentage I will accord the awareness or to the government is 85%. Why? Because maybe due to the gravity of the disease in virus in China and all over the world. So I believe even the people at the rural areas are fully aware of what coronavirus is and it causes.
At our own level, we will just do our little preparedness that we can do for the state to see if we have any suspected case so that we can isolate that patient so that we can now know the way forward.
Authorities say the work of public health is everyone's business, and it requires all citizens to get involved in the fight against coronavirus.
To other stories now, an 11-year-old girl has been rescued from the home of her foster parent, who is alleged to have subjected her to abuse in Asaba, the Delta State capital. The rescue operation was carried out by NAPTIP in collaboration with the state government after a tip-off by members of that community. The suspect, a widow in her 40s, initially resisted arrest, but was eventually taken away by the officials to the NAPTIP zonal office in Benin, the Edo State capital.
It's about 9 a.m. and the atmosphere is calm at the Direct Labor Road in Asaba, Delta State. This calmness is about to be disrupted with the visit of members of the State Ministry of Justice and officials of the Benin Zonal Command of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. They are here to make an arrest following a tip-off over an alleged child abuse by a middle-aged woman fondly called Mama Kingsley. After much reluctance, she opens her doors to the officials.
There is no child that I'm about violating because it's my child.
The abuse on 11-year-old Kosi Ejiofor is evident. A swollen head and injury marks on her skin.
Please, madam. Oh, wait! I want to do to yourself.
A little drama ensues after she tries to resist arrest, but is later taken away. Neighbors, still in shock, speculate what could become of the suspect.
No, I've never heard the girl cry, but at times I will see her with the child, the girl and the son. They will climb up. I didn't notice anything.
She said she doesn't go to school, which is strongly against the law of our country, because every child has a right to education.
The arrest and possible prosecution of the suspect is one that the Delta State government believes will serve as a reminder that the rights of a child must be respected.
Meanwhile, the police have been recounting how they burst 2 illegal orphanages in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, and Mowe in Ogun State. 3 suspects were arrested while 12 victims were rescued in the residential building in the Mowe area after an inmate raised an alarm over the illegal business. The police also uncovered a similar facility in River State where more than 20 children and some adults were found, although the operators insisted that they have nothing to do with this.
Detectives leading 3 suspects of the Mowe baby factory down the stairs at the Ogun State Police Headquarters, Eleweron, Abeokuta. In the lineup are 2 men and the key suspects, Florence Ogbonna, who's been running the home for a while, and 12 young ladies. Their bubble burst when one of the new inmates, who alleges being lured by her boyfriend from Anambra State, disagreed with the thought of selling babies.
I asked the boy, say, why the person he marry all those girls they here? She tell me when na business she come and do. So waiting for the business. I said waiting for the business. She said me if the bond the picky go sell am. See me, okay, what of me? She tell me the same business.
Other inmates speak on their mission to the home.
I did not come there to sell my medicine. I come there to come and take. The policeman who pregnant me denied. He says he will not take it because he have a family.
Florence Ogbonna explains that she uses her experience as a nurse to assist pregnant ladies who cannot afford medication, a claim the police say is being investigated.
Some of them is my family members. Some of them are a destitute inmates. Like 2 of them is an positive, HIV positive inmate, which I directed them where they are getting their treatment.
They met 12 ladies in that house. Out of these 12 ladies, 6 out of them are pregnant already. And 2 men were met with them there. And the Commissioner of Police, CP Kenneth Ebrimson, he directed that those victims should be put in a protective custody, pending the time when they will be reunited with their family.
Same situation is what the River State Police Command is battling with after infants and underage children are discovered in a building housing Tender Land Foundation in the Woji area of Port Harcourt, the River State capital.
24 babies between the ages of 1 and 2 and 4 pregnant teenagers were recovered. The babies and the pregnant teenagers who are frail and malnourished are currently receiving medical attention at the police clinic, while investigation is still on.
It's not a factory. It's an NGO, an orphanage, and a transition home for children who took in.
The major concern is how fast the baby factory network is growing, as young girls, mostly with unwanted pregnancies, are offered help out of their situation with the aim of selling off their babies.
Staying with security issues in Imo State, the police have arrested one of the suspects in the murder of a priest with the Olu Catholic Diocese, Syriacus Onunko. The suspect, Charles Nana, who is believed to be a member of a 4-man gang, was apprehended by men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the State Police Command and is reported to have confessed to the crime as well as his role in the operation. His arrest is coming 3 years after the gruesome murder of the Reverend Father in Oru East local government area of Imo State. He was killed in September 2017 after he was kidnapped by gunmen in Idiato North local government area, where he had gone to bury his father. In part 2, after the break, Imo State Governor asked security personnel to arrest those behind the shooting in Okigwe that left 3 people dead and others injured. That's in a moment. Join us again.